If somebody's asking you to do something free of charge, maybe they don't respect you in that sense,
Yeah.
and they might be trying to exploit their perceived relationship that they have with you without having to put anything forward.
Hello, and welcome back to another amazing episode of Denhta. My name is Ella Lamoureux, and if you're new to the podcast, Denhta in my native language, Cascadene, means hi, how are you? Which I feel is appropriate because I get to talk to amazing Indigenous people across Turtle Island, and today is no different because I have the fantastic Jennifer Parker with me.
Hello, why that's hello and good day in Sealchin, and that's the language I speak. My name's Jennifer. I also go by my Skeluch Squeezed, Mam Eekst. And from what that was told to me, that means I have my fingers in everything. So I grew into that as a child. I grew into that name because I'm everywhere and scattered all over the place. My roots come from the Okanagan Indian Band, and that's where my family resides, and that's where I currently reside as well. And I just love the Okanagan, and I love calling it home.
It is a beautiful place.
Yes.
But I want to get back to your native name, your fingers and everything.
Yes. Mam-eeks.
Mam-eeks.
Yes.
I think that's pretty fantastic. So like you said, you do a little bit of, I'm assuming you do a little bit of everything, but does it also make you kind of fearless?
Oh, yeah. The putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. So being able to be comfortable with your vulnerability means that you got to take on your fears and you got to strive forward. And that takes that bravery, that takes that courage, that belief that you're going to be okay on the other end, no matter what you go through.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. I love that. I also I have an Indigenous name as well. I'd never introduced myself for it. I don't know why. I should. But it's Tehikia. And that means the wanderer in my language because my grandfather saw a dream of me wandering around. Like, he said traveling the world.
Oh, yes.
I like the idea of wandering because it seems aimless. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You float and then you land and then you float off again. You're like a butterfly, right?
Yeah,
you know?
just fluttering everywhere. Amazing. Okay, so you identify as Two-Spirit.
I do identify as Two-Spirit, and that tends to confuse a lot of people because there's a lot of misconceptions with the ideals of a Two-Spirit person. A lot of people use it as a way to say that they're describing their sexuality. So they use it in a term for bisexuality versus what I like to call an organic Two-Spirit. To me, being Two-Spirit means that I house within my own vessel the voice of the masculine as well as the voice of the feminine. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to situations, or if you need an intermediary, somebody who needs to be that middle person, mm-hmm. I'm that person that can be that for any situation mostly, because I can see from the perspective of each individual whether or not their gender is identified as female or as male. Mm-hmm. So I'm able to be more objective while also being very empathetic.
Yeah. I love that. And when I think about it, because I do identify as Two-Spirit, but I also feel that I'm in kind of the same boat where I feel I have the masculine and the feminine energies, and I'm able to bridge back and forth between the two and have a wider understanding of different realms.
Oh, yeah.
But I also never want to gatekeep the word Two-Spirit as well, because like, when I think about that original conference where they have it, where they said they just wanted to take a step away from negative colonial views from Indigenous queerness.
Yes.
I just want Two-Spirit to be known as an Indigenous queer person.
Yes.
You know, there is different aspects of it, and there's different cultures that have different names for it, but that that term came about so that we can step away from those negative views.
Oh, yeah.
But I am that. I'll be the same as you, that OG.
That OG.
Right? Where it's like the two spirits that bridge back and forth.
Like my t-shirt today, a decolonized original. You know, you've got to have your mindset in that essence where you are able to surpass other people's view of you and really kind of spotlight what your your morals are and your ethics are and what your principles are and be able to live that way. If we could all just be honest to who we are, be vulnerable in front of one another, and also be empathetic of everyone's standpoints, we'd be able to coexist a lot easier, in my opinion, because you'd have that transparency and then you'd have that genuineness and you'd be able to speak from a different place without thinking, what's in it for me or what am I going to get out of it? A lot of us don't live life in that good way. And it's not necessarily good versus bad. We all have those within ourselves. Our voices carry, whether it's you're hurt and you want to get back at somebody real fast. Some of us want to, and they do, and then the action happens. Others tend to go inside and reflect upon it to determine whether or not that's a good standpoint and if that's going to generate a negative or positive approach, because there needs to be compromise.
Yeah. That's a good analogy. You said that, and you talked about how people they step back and think about instead of action, instead of going in there. It reminds me of how if I'm having an argument with someone, I will type out this huge thing wherever I'm doing about it, and then just to get it out, and then I'll delete it. Be like, I don't need to actually have this interaction. I just needed this moment of da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I was like, if I send this, it's going to create a lot more that I'm going to have to stand up, fight back for, and to create a little bit more emotional investment into this. It's like, I don't want that. I just got it out of my system, delete.
Yeah.
And then it probably makes them more angry that I'm not interacting.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which in the own sense, am I now being selfish? Being like, haha, gotcha.
Honestly, I think you're actually just taking back your power. That's your control. That's your ability to do something. They may have done it to try and get you to do something. Yeah. And if you don't do anything, then they're the ones not getting what they want out of it.
And why do we want to give people what they want?
No, I
Never.
don't. Not for free.
Not for free, exactly.
Not for free.
Get the money up front.
Exactly. Tell me exactly how much you think I'm worth, and then I'll let you know if it's right.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine? They're like, here's $1.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm worth more than that.
Yeah. It is funny when you think about it. When you're talking about know your worth and stuff like that, it just reminded me of more of a cultural sense when land acknowledgements became super, super popular, because they were very, not underground, they just happened every now and then. That's going to happen. All of a sudden they started getting incorporated into meetings. All of a sudden big organizations started hiring out Indigenous people, they weren't hiring, they started asking Indigenous people to do land acknowledgements without any payment.
Yes.
And then everyone's like, are you paying these people? And they're like, why? I'm like, because you're asking Indigenous persons to come out and do free work for your white organization. And then I remember this was like maybe 10, 15 years ago when I was working at the Kelowna Friendship Society as in my social work degree. I don't know why I said it like that, but I remember the going rate was $250. And then people would call the Friendship Center asking if they had someone that can do, they'd ask specifically for an elder.
Yes.
That can do the land acknowledgement. And we'd have to be like, okay, we have this person, but just, the fee's $250. And it just felt like such a transactional space. But at the same time, if you're going to get an Indigenous person come out and do something for you, pay them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that sense, it's also like bartering or an exchange.
Yeah.
There's a service that's being rendered, and it's not. Services aren't necessarily for free either. Yeah. Today, we use monetary means to repay for these things. In the past, we would go, oh, do you need fish? If you come here and do this, we can give you some fish that you can take home with you. Yeah. So we've always done that, and it's part of our protocols, and it's like an etiquette, right? Yeah. So to use a term that a lot of people understand, etiquette. And for us, it's more like laws and protocols that we follow, because that's just doing it in a way where you're able to provide something while also bringing something back that'll help not just yourself, but maybe your whole family or your whole community. Yeah. So it's really important to respect that and respect other people's time and energy, and they're taking away from something. So that's the reason why it's important to be able to provide them something.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, an exchange of resources.
Yes.
I was like, when I was thinking, I was just thinking the more funny that'd be whoever did put a time, like a price amount on it, like they were ordering a service.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That was the part that seems a little crazy to me. But yes, we do need to honor and respect each other and always have that exchange of resources.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
it allows you to be able to know that the relationship is sound.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's asking you to do something free of charge, maybe they don't respect you in that sense.
Yeah.
And they might be trying to exploit their perceived relationship that they have with you without having to put anything forward.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's really important to know what people think of you, and that's usually how you find out, is
Yeah.
whether or not they're willing to put money on the table, so to speak. Yeah.
And then when they offer you more than you're going to offer, you're like, oh my God, do I have imposter syndrome? I'm just kidding.
Am I really?
Yeah. Am I worth that much?
Am I that qualified? I think you need somebody more highly qualified than me.
Oh, I would never say that. I would just like put that smile and be like, I got this.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
worry about it for a couple days and be like, why are you worried? You got this. You know what
Yes.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want to loop around to another conversation with you. You are in school
Yes.
to become a teacher.
I am going to try my best to become a teacher. So I already have my certificate to my Aboriginal early childhood educator. I can be an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have enough hours to be able to apply for a full ECE yet.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I also started going to school for the BNLF program at the University of British Columbia. Our Okanagan campus here offers it.
Yeah.
It's
BLNF?
yeah, BLNF. So it stands for Bachelor of Language Fluency program. So it's for the Insilchchin language.
Yeah.
So that's what the N stands for. And I'm working with a lot of other Okanagan speaking students.
Mm-hmm.
And because of where we are, a lot of them are close to the border, south. And then there's a decent number that are further north than where I am here in Vernon.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful to see how many of us are finally working together to get fluent in our language. And it's also really great to see how many of us are striving to become teachers, because we want to provide that language and that connection to culture and identity for the youth that are coming up, so they can have a stronger voice and know that they matter, and that there will also be things that they can relate to. You know, I'm currently trying to make enough resources that are new and vibrant, that catches the eye of any language learner, not dependent on age. So if you're an older learner that wants to learn the language, it'll still be eye-catching and it'll still be useful for you as you want to get more fluent. And it'll also be something that can be part of a curriculum-based program within our immersion schools that'll be on the land-based learning that we want to do. So I want to get the education part done, because we're still stuck behind the colonial academic and certified teaching to be able to call yourself a teacher. I still need to jump through all the hoops through the provincial programming, so that way I can be certified and I can actually go and teach students at an elementary school level.
So you finishing your program now, would that let you be able to teach at a elementary level?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will be able to do that. In order to get the certification through the province, I'll have to do another 16-month Bachelor of Education, and that'll allow me to work in any school district, not just within a cultural immersion school that's on band land or on a reservation.
Is that the long-term goal?
Yes.
Yeah, so that you can go in any
Any
school
school.
district.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
As long as it's within the proper territory and region for Insilchchin to be spoken.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go up to Yukon and speak there.
No.
You're like, no.
That would be rude. That'd be too colonizing.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna learn my language now, because that's what I know.
That's what I teach.
Yeah. Amazing. So has this always been a goal of yours? Or has it started as something different, and then now that you're learning your language, it has changed into this?
It was not the goal in the beginning. In the beginning, I wanted to do teaching of the culture, not so much the language. I wasn't really strong or fluent yet. I was doing demonstrations for stick games, which is a very old game that is played by Indigenous folk that's now kind of graduated into a gambling and more recreational game to be played, as well as teaching drumming and singing. I did that with my mother. She got me started into it because she wanted to be able to teach kids and also teach anybody that our culture is beautiful and that we're proud of who we are and where we come from. So seeing her teach really got me started. And then my sister started becoming a teacher herself, and she got really connected with the early childhood years. And she started working towards her degree. She started working towards her master's, and now she's working on a doctorate. So she's also a really strong teacher. And her oldest daughter is a high school teacher now. So we're a whole family of teachers.
Yeah.
And from
Which is
what
a
I
calling.
look is that if I hit them at the elementary level, my oldest niece hits them at the high school level. And then my sister can hit them at the post-secondary level, and we can provide teaching within our family to others the whole way through as they're growing up.
Yeah.
You know,
Get
so
them at every level of that
every
cultural
single
language
level,
that's
yeah.
there. That's pretty cool.
and then we can keep an eye on them too. It's like, oh, this child is really strong here, but they could use a little bit more help here. And then they'll have that graduated learning process really finely tuned because the family knows what's going on and what each child might really need or in order to succeed to be able to climb that ladder.
Mm-hmm. Does your sister and your niece teach in this area as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
My niece teaches in Vernon at a high school. My sister is in school herself, but she's also attending Vancouver. I think it's Vancouver. It's really just, they're both inspiring to me.
Yeah.
So I want to go and get this done, and we can kind of work together
Yeah.
in order to do that. Like,
They're like, I'm going to work here. They're going to finish there, and they're going to come to you,
Yeah.
and then they're going to go to this school.
yes.
Like, we planned it all out for you.
We planned it all out.
You have no autonomy.
Yes.
We figured it out for you already.
Yes.
You're going to
We'll
follow
get
this
you out
trajectory
there.
because this is your best course of action. That's amazing. I love that. I think that's so fantastic. We need more language keepers out there.
Yes.
Because I didn't know that UBCO, is it UBCO?
Yes.
That does the language course there?
Oh, yeah, there's more than one, too. There's two others. They cover the Ntlakatmuch language as well as Statlimich. So there's three programs that I know of that they're working on for the interior Salish languages.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're also in the process of completing one of the buildings that's going to be meant specifically for Indigenous studies and Indigenous courses.
Nice. And then once you have that, you can teach elementary school. But you have
Yes.
to get your 16-month Bachelor of Education.
Education, yeah.
That's so cool. I have I'm doing my language courses through Yukon, North Yukon, YN, whatever. It's the Yukon College. It's up there, and there's so many courses that I can take for it. And if I would have taken the part to register through Simon Fraser, because I think that's where it's connected to, then I would be considered a language teacher if I graduated through them all.
Yes.
As well, but I didn't want to take that part. I'm like, I'm just learning it for my own personal being, so I just want to take it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody's language journey is really meant for them.
Yeah.
I didn't get groomed to become a language teacher.
Yeah.
I was learning language in order to have more of a strong conversational ability to speak with a lot of elders and to see if they have any words that aren't in our dictionaries or any phrases that we don't know that are very specific for our area and for our tongue.
Yeah.
And then it kind of spiraled out to, well, I really do love learning this language. I also want to teach it.
Yeah.
And I love being around kids. And if I could put those things together, I think it would be really awesome.
Yeah.
And
You'd be
now I'm
happy.
seeing everything kind of work around, and I've got so many ideas. I could be a really great idea person. I can get things started. also give me bodies so I can delegate and get it done.
There you go. Natural leader.
Yes.
Come with ideas. You're going to make it happen.
I will. Just give me the people, give me the bodies and the money. We will get it done.
Yeah. Amazing. I love that. It's so great when people find out kind of their calling. Like you said, you wanted to become a teacher in some aspect. You find your language, and then it just all has blended together. And then working with kids. It's like, feels like a great trajectory for you.
Oh, yeah. I put out a lot of big auntie vibes.
You do. You bring a lot of, I think the first time I met you, it was at the Fur House.
Yes.
And then you came up to me and you're like, can I call you auntie?
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, you totally can. Like, yeah. And then you're like, perfect, done, set. And I remember that was the first time someone ever asked me if they can do that. People just instantly come up and started calling me auntie. And I was like, that's fine. I'll take it. Like, it's a term of respect. I love it. But then I felt you made me feel very, very seen in that moment. And I just really appreciated it. And then I never forgot it.
Yes. You claim the people, but in order to have proper relationship, it needs to be done in a way of consent.
Yeah.
And consent is such a big thing. And consent has always been a big thing, and it's part of our laws.
Yeah.
There needs to be consent to be able to do anything. And that's kind of our way.
Yeah.
The most Indigenous way to live life is to make sure that you have consent of whatever aspect that you're living in.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have consent from the people. You also have to be mindful, and you have to have, the consent from Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing things that are you're being reckless and you're causing damage, well, you're not really looking at the consent, because then you're not weighing out, is this actually good?
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing something for good and it's not taking away and being destructive or damaging? So, consent's really important.
Consent's so important. And the word consent has been around for so long. And I feel that within the last maybe 5 to 7 years is where people are starting to really hone in onto that word. I don't want to call it like a hot topic word, but you made a good example of consent, where we need consent in all aspects of our life. People right now, I think, are thinking mostly of consent on touch, which is good. We need to verify that this is our body. You need to have consent to touch it. When I'm walking by, you don't have the right to grab my ass. Like, it's vice versa as well. But then you also got to play, like you said, we also have to have consent when we're talking to people. Do you have the time? Can I talk to you about this? Is it okay if I call you this? Those verbal cues really help to solidify boundaries and a relationship with someone.
Yes.
It's so smart.
Yes. And I learned that from my family. And I was an observer. I was an extreme observer because I wasn't around a lot of youth growing up. When I was growing up, I was around a lot of older people. All of my cousins were mostly my uncles and aunties. And there wasn't that many kids my age that I was able to be around with. So I learned a lot, and I grew a lot really quickly because of what I saw and what my experiences were. So seeing really good role models was able to help me learn how to be a really productive part of a community, whether that be at home with my family, with my friends, with extended loved ones. Extended loved ones, in my opinion, are the family that I've chosen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I may be related to you, but if we don't see eye to eye and you've disrespected me too many times, I no longer consider you family because you don't show me that respect. And how can I trust somebody like that?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a friend of mine that I've known since elementary school, that's been through thick and thin with me and has seen me at my worst and seen me at my best, and they don't care, and they're not handing out or expecting anything from me, they're my family, in my opinion. And we have a word for that too, where you've kind of claimed somebody and brought them into your own little bubble. And I love learning all of the words that are connected to certain things because
I relate to that.
I relate to that, yeah. And a lot of people would be able to relate to that because not everybody's really close with their family.
No. And I feel like that's a good conversation that people need to be able to be comfortable to have as well. Because a lot of people say that just because you're family, you're supposed to have this unbreakable bond. It's like, but if the family doesn't respect or honor me and is constantly making me feel lesser or is never putting me in a position where I feel empowered, why am I still keeping them in my life when they're not helping me grow? And it's such a strong conversation that we need to have. Just because you're blood family does not mean that you're my family. And it's okay to let people go.
Yes.
Yeah, because we need to keep people in our life. Because if we have, ideally in the world, all our family treats us with respect and honors our social decisions, honors your autonomy, but also keeps you in community so that you can work together. But we need to be okay to let people go.
Yes.
I don't want to say like cut that tie, but like maybe just like move a little to the side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, compartmentalizing
Yeah.
is a word that I learned really early because I do like to keep things kind of together and in boxes because then I can find them super easy.
Yeah.
I compartmentalize certain people and certain because I have also ADHD. So object permanence.
Yeah.
So if I don't see them, if I don't acknowledge them, they're no longer bothering me.
Yeah.
So I do recognize that they're family, and I let a lot of people know yes, these are my relatives and I am related to them, but I'm not aware of their workings, like
what
inner
they're doing.
workings, what they're
Yeah.
doing and stuff. I kind of let them live their life. Oh, why is that? Well, we have some ideas that are different and they kind of work against one another. So we're constantly arguing, and I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
I don't need to be right, and I'm not looking to be right in an argument with people. I'm just learning to see from their perspective. And if I learn that their perspective is totally the opposite on the spectrum from mine, we're going to be headbutting all the time. So I'm going to go, I respect you. You live your life. I'm not going to wish ill will on you.
Yeah.
I hope you do succeed and you flourish. I'm going to go and focus my time and energy over here with people who have, more respect for my ideas and don't shoot me down or try and teach me a lesson. Sometimes you just can't teach people a lesson because it's not a lesson to be taught. It's your perspective that you're trying to shove onto somebody else.
Yeah. Literally. And sometimes it's not even a lesson when it's someone's existence that you're arguing about.
Yes.
I'm not saying that's with yourself, but like with myself and my queerness, there's some family members where I had to just be like, sorry, like that's not it. It's like, I just can't have you in my life. I'm not going to spend my time trying to convince you that my way of living is okay. It's like, I have a right to live. I have a right to excel. I have a right to be who I want to be. And then I feel that now, since there is such a resurgence in two-spirit identity, which I think is amazing. We have a lot of great advocates out there. We have a lot of strong, powerful people that are able to speak true from their own power and hold space for themselves, but also lead by example. I feel that in my own experience that I have more family members that have reached out and be like, hey, I see what's going on. I've seen your story. I've seen this. Like, if I participated in any way that you've talked about, like, I apologize. It's like, thank you for reaching out for this way. But then me being the shit disturber that I am, I'm like, are you saying sorry so it can alleviate your feelings, or do you care about what you did? And like myself.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, does it matter? And I was like, that response tells me everything I need to know.
Yes. Where it comes from matters.
Yeah.
If it comes from a healthy place and you really want to see somebody like elevated, free form and doing the best that they can, soaring the skies, it's going to be you're apologizing for your actions or inactions. You're apologizing for anything that would have made them feel lesser. It's not to make yourself feel better. At that point in time, you're feeling, shame and regret and maybe, that fear of missing out, that FOMO.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, the actions that happened in the past definitely stay in the past, but you can't forget them either, or else you're not going to learn from them, and then history will repeat itself.
Yep.
You need to be able to let them know those boundaries and remember that if you stay strong to yourself in those boundaries, you're going to live a healthier life for yourself. And you're going to be a healthier version of yourself for somebody else.
Yes.
And that's the importance, is being able to look ahead without being stuck in the past. And I had to let go of a few friends and a couple of family members while I was suffering through my illness and trying to get healthy again. During the first diagnosis of my cancer, I had some friends and family pretty much tell me that they were essentially saying goodbye. They were already telling me goodbye. They were already expecting me not to make it. And that pulled me down and into such a slump that it affected my way of thinking. I started getting sicker and feeling sicker, and I was really worried, but then I was reminded by people who I was going through treatment with that that's them. That's not you. You don't have to carry that for them. They've said goodbye. You say goodbye. You let them go. I'm like, okay, so I let them go. And then I started having more fun. I started chatting with more people who were more excited about me getting healthier and bouncing back. And they weren't thinking about the negatives. They were thinking about the positives. And how quickly my feelings turned around, my health turned around. I no longer felt nauseous. I didn't suffer any ill side effects of the radiation or the chemotherapy. I was really extremely healthy for somebody who was going through that treatment process. And a lot of people just couldn't fathom that I was sick because I didn't show outwardly that I was sick. So the power it takes to get rid of those toxic people and to get their way of thinking out of your head gives you that much more power to really hone in on what's important and be healthy, and let the healthy positivity kind of like elevate you to a place where you can pretty much take anything on. I feel as if, yes, Western medicine helped me, absolutely. But honestly, deep down inside, I think it was the positive energy that I got from everybody around me who was telling me nonstop, I'm going to kick this in the butt. I'm going to move forward. And I've got a lot of stuff that I need to get done that they're excited to see me do. Like, there's way too much happening in the future that I can't be there for.
Yeah. I think that's like such a powerful thing. I'm happy that you're feeling better, because I think when I met you, it was the beginning of it all, and then it's down, now you're up again, which is great. Love that. But it's very true about energy exchange.
Yes.
Because you can be around people that just bring you down, and that's not going to put you in a mindset that's going to be able to heal. But if you are with people that are going to bring you up and build you up, it creates, I don't even know the science inside of your body, but it helps your body fight.
Yes.
Like I said, this had that great energy exchange. And I personally believe that as well, because if you have that in your life, I feel it just sets your body up in a position to fight stronger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, humor.
Yeah. Humor's huge.
Humor is massive. Yeah. And the fact that our people have been using humor for so long, it's the humility, right? You need to be able to kind of laugh things off, because you're needing to be mindful in the now, not in the past, and you don't want to stress too much about the future. You really got to be, what am I doing today? You know, do you jump into your pants when you first wake up in the morning, or do you put them on one leg on at a time?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people will argue, oh, I jump right into them 2 feet up, all the way up, out I go.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
you're
good for you.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
But some of us need to do that one leg at a time,
Yeah.
because if we don't, we might forget something.
Yeah.
The person who whipped their pants on, got in their car and drove off, may have forgotten something at home, like a cell phone.
Yeah, they have.
Right? That's
I mean, I
happened to
forgot
me
mine.
a couple times.
My phone's literally sitting at home right now because I ran to come here. That's fine. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it's not here.
It's not,
because of
yeah.
that. But yeah, you're right. Sometimes there's people that jump in, and you need the person that takes their time. Ideally, myself, if I'm thinking about if I'm getting up in the morning, if I'm thinking about energy-wise, I love to have a lazy, relaxed morning. Like to be able to get up, like have my little drink, and then slowly go to where I'm doing. I don't like feeling rushed. And by rushed, I mean like say that I hit snooze, which I've trained my body not to hit snooze. Like I just get up right away when it happens, because I know that wasn't for me when I was younger. But I don't want to get up, brush my teeth, throw water on my face, out the door. That just makes things feel too frazzled for me. Mm-hmm. I need to be able to just like slowly take my time, meander, do my thing. If that's me getting up an hour and a half before I need to be somewhere, then that's fine. Like I can take that moment to get ready. Yeah. And you're the same person.
Yeah.
We're doing that one leg at a time.
One leg at a time.
Yeah.
Because how I put myself together and making sure that I've taken that hour and a half of time for me to get ready before I get going
Mm-hmm.
means that by the time wherever I'm going and I get there, I'm going to be able to put my whole self into it.
Yeah.
Nothing else is kind of flustered or making me feel uneasy.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that, oh, that's very, selfish or self-centered or the negatives. And honestly, self-care is super important if you want to be able to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you can't have that self-care, who knows, you might snap at somebody during the day. You might have a little road rage, and then it gets you real heated wherever you're going.
And then sometimes you just need to yell.
Oh, I love doing that. I have...
All right, let's hear it.
I have on hand always, whatever bag I have with me, I have a little silicone mold of a
I'm laughing. I don't know what it is yet.
a penis.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a little toy dildo,
Yeah.
but it's got a little suction cup, right?
So you can flick it.
So yes. So if I'm having a bad day, if I'm having a horrible time, I pull that out and I whip it down, and it gets sucked to the surface, and I can just smack at it.
Those are actually like a fidgeter.
Yes.
For if you're working, it's supposed to go on your disc, so you can just flick it.
Yeah. No, I've got that in the vehicle with me sometimes, but no,
I
it's on
love
me
that.
always because also it's silicone. So if somebody's making me mad, and stress balls, you grab that, it fits perfectly in your hand. You can
Just
go,
squeezing it. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm squeezing my dick.
Yeah.
I love that. Making me die. I love that. Amazing.
Yeah, I pull it out sometimes. I've got a couple of friends that have seen it in the car with me, and they're like, do you have it? And it's like, of course, it's in my bag.
Of course I do.
Pull it out.
Like, you need it all the
Like,
time.
I need it. And then they'll sit there and they'll smack it. Any frustration whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's silly. So
It's
it instantly
silly,
puts
it's
a smile on
fun.
your face.
Yes,
Right? Like talking about
yes.
that comedy, and we need that humility and we be able to laugh.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how you go out and sometimes you need to yell, sometimes you need to take a moment. I always try to live my life by choosing my attitude. Because, like, I can go into a situation, I can get angry, and sometimes I have to tell myself I can choose my attitude. I can get angry in this moment, or I can be okay with it. And I will admit, sometimes I choose anger. And I was like, you know what? I just need to get it out. Not anger, like, towards someone. Like, this is me in my own spot. And I'm like, I just need to get this moment out. I'm going to bitch about this person for, like, the next 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're never going to hear about it. But I just need that moment to get it out. And sometimes I'll be like, you know what? I just need to take this moment to just sit and be in myself and be peaceful. And I feel like sometimes I need to take that second route, because sometimes lately I've been just getting angry at a lot of people.
I think all you need is that little silicone
I need a penis.
Yeah.
I need that little penis.
Yeah.
That'll be on my bucket list.
Yeah,
Not my
get
bucket
one of
list
those.
things. Yeah. My fidget penis.
Yeah. Just flick.
Can you imagine, like, just driving down the road and then just put it on your driver's side window and you're just, like, flicking it while you're driving?
Oh, yeah. I have had it on the window, or not on the window, the window beside me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had people drive by and they're looking at it like, what the? I've also had it like right at the front of my vehicle. So when I'm driving, I just smack it around. So many people have seen it, and every single one of them, I've clocked it, every single one of them smiles.
Because it's
I've
silly.
just made their day.
You just made their day. They're like, who's this person flicking their dick?
Yep. And it's purple too. So I'm like, it's alien. You've never seen this before.
Even better.
Yep.
Lack of blood flow. Maybe, I don't know, they're squeezing too hard. Turned a little purple. That's so funny. Okay, that's going to be on my list. I need to get myself a little silicone penis. We do naughty bingos, and we used to give out things like that.
Yes.
So I need to get our sex toy purchaser to look into those so I can sneakily steal it so I don't have to purchase it. But is it like stealing if you take it from a white person?
No.
Yes. We're not like them. Stealing.
Stealing is stealing. That's true.
Or if we just throw reparations on it, then it's not.
Then it's not. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you've paid. It's now credited to your account.
Exactly. That's so funny. Okay, I want to talk about something a little differently. Well, it's along the same storyline. Not storyline. But you talked about going through cancer, and then I want to talk about the medical system because I've have a few people that are in the medical field, and they have a lot of aunts and uncles and relatives that have been in the medical, no, having to go to the hospital like one of us has, but there's a lot of prejudices in
Yes.
the medical system. And you being a visible Indigenous person, have you experienced backlash going into these facilities, being who you are?
I can say that the BC Cancer Society, like the clinic itself here in Kelowna, hands down, best location I've ever been. I've never felt more seen and respected anywhere in my life,
Nice.
whether that be at school, other events that I've been to where it's either been ceremonial displays and non-Indigenous have been there, and just, doctor visits or regular hospital visits, ER visits. I've had really bad experiences with those ER visits or hospital visits. So I was really apprehensive when I was getting into the BC Cancer Clinic, and every single person there just treated me really well.
Amazing.
They know how to treat people, and since cancer has absolutely no eyes for whatever race, gender, it doesn't discriminate against people. It will take whoever it wants to. And I respect BC Cancer Clinic here in Kelowna. They were really, really nice to me. I felt so much care and attention. My whole team was very genuine and very honest with me, shared all of what I needed to know. That being said, Kelowna General Hospital is a different story.
Because they're right beside each other.
They are more than native because they're
There's
connected.
a hallway connected to them.
Yeah, they are connected. Yet it's different. It's like what I would assume Canada and the States, the United States of America, the relationship between those two. It's Canada's very mindful, very demure, whereas the United States of America is not like that same level. There's still a lot of, there's still a lot of visible dislike and disdain you can see on people's faces. And that's how I felt in between going that hallway trip in between the two. The radiation and the chemotherapy that I went through, I had to do all at cancer clinic. Very well handled, very nice. Kelowna General Hospital was the one that took care of the surgery when I had to get the cancer resected out. So that's the surgical term to have it removed. And the aftercare wasn't 100%. The atmosphere and the environment wasn't 100%. And it's not all on them specifically. It's just they weren't capable of being mindful enough of others. And I also respect the fact that it could also be that they were all very stretched thin, because our system is also really broken in that sense.
It's true.
There was not enough nurses to patients. There was a lot of patients on the floor, and it was a hassle to see them try and work with everybody's needs. And I can say I got out of there real quick. I probably shouldn't have left as early as I did, but I got out of there real quick.
Like surgery in, out.
Yeah.
It's great that you say that. You had such good experiences there. Last year during Pride Month, I did a bingo at the BC Cancer Clinic place there, and I will admit, like, going in those doors there, it's very welcoming. It's very sweet. They have people in the front there. I talked to their native liaison there. She was very, very sweet. It was a very lovely atmosphere. And I remember we went over into the KGH parts to let them know that BC Cancer is doing this bingo. So we have the whole hospital is included. But then it was just such a cold experience over there, where we didn't spend a lot of time telling people. We just a little quick tour, and then we came back into that warm little bubble there, which is crazy because it's there's a lot of sad news that happens in that little area there.
So true.
But they were very warm.
Yes.
It's very nice, yeah.
That's the one thing I learned. That's where I learned my mindfulness from, actually. And that's where I learned all of my my wisdom, all of everything I experienced there. They told me to drop the toxic people. They helped me. They ushered me through everything, and I felt like it was such an easy transition, but they live day by day because we don't know. Yeah. We really don't know, especially when we're sitting there getting poked and prodded and irradiated and having to, suffer the way that we do. Every single one of them had a smile on their face. Every single one of them was more optimistic about things and, the not taking life for granted. And I think that's our gratefulness for life is what exploded out of me because of who I was around. I'm so grateful for life. I'm so grateful for my experiences. I'm so grateful now more so than I was before. I try and express my gratitude to as many that I come across now because I have learned not to take it for granted. I was unable to swim for 2 summers in a row, and that broke my heart because I love the water. Yeah. Being in the water is so freeing and so relaxing and so fun. And I'm just really grateful that this summer I'll be able to go in the water.
Yeah. And it's like a joy that you don't realize that you miss as much as you don't have it. And it's that whole concept of taking things for granted because you don't realize how not good we have it, but how we rely on things.
Yes.
Like our bodies are weak when we think about it compared to other mammals in the world. Like we have very thin skin. Our nails aren't made for protecting us. Like our body essentially is weak. If anything's going to attack it, we can build it up and strong and get muscles stronger. But in essence, you can still rip into it. So like when you hurt your foot that can't walk, you realize like how reliant we are on you. When you couldn't do things for 2 years, we realize how fragile our life can be. And then we take life for granted. And it's such an eye-opening thing that we just need to try to honor the space that we have, the time that we have it in, and just to try to enjoy or try to bring joy and peace to people around you instead of being a negative cesspool of grossness. I
also see a lot of negative people age fast.
I know. We're 60 and we look great.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, fantastic.
you want to live forever, be happy.
Yeah, exactly. Put a smile on your face. What does they say that a frown is? I forgot how many muscles is a frown compared to a smile.
So many. Yes. Yeah. And everybody's like, but it's so comfortable. It's like, no, you've just trained your face to be unhappy all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You just need to smile.
Be good. Put some melanin in your skin.
Yes.
Be less white.
Be less white.
Such a good thing to tell
people.
Go
outside and touch grass.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy yourself. And it's funny, they use that as an insult, but it is an actual study I believe happened where people, but they went outside and just experienced the outsideness and touching grass, how it made yourself feel not lighter, but more at ease.
Oh yeah. Or you can feel invigorated, right?
There's the word.
that re-energizes you. That provides a little extra pep in your step. That's why people say, "Oh, stop to smell the roses." Yeah. You smell the roses, and if you're not an allergic person, and it's a nice smell and it's a nice scent that makes you feel that it's good. Yeah. Your brain is going to release those dopamine, endorphins. Yeah. You're gonna feel that, and it's gonna be almost as instant, that gratification process. And if people were to stop and do that every once in a while, you wouldn't feel so heavy.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, people need to do that. Go outside, smell the roses, and find these little dopamine rushes instead of going online shopping.
Oh yes. Or being an online troll trying to have the last say in an argument.
Ha 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 ha, I got them. Oh yeah, you sure did.
You sure did. Do they even know who you are?
No, not at all. It's a blank profile. It's user 177BB6.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah. My biggest fan.
Yeah, exactly. I was being protested by this one person, and he went to a lot of shows to protest them. And I used to call him my biggest fan. I'm not going to give him the recognition of his name, but everyone's like, "Why are you saying that?" I was like, "Well, technically, he's been to so many of my shows. Like, he hasn't come inside, but he's been to them. So I was like, kind of my biggest fan.
Yes.
Plus, he writes a lot of emails about me. Mm-hmm. Very, very terrible emails, but he writes them about me.
Yeah. If somebody were to Google you, they would, like your name, they would have a lot of these things pop up, and then it would take you on a rabbit hole, and maybe they would like you more and go, that person doesn't know what they're talking about.
This person, resilient.
Yeah.
We like them.
I want to be like that.
Exactly. That's amazing. All right. So you went from having such a crazy traumatic 2 years, not traumatic, like an up and down wild ride, shall we say. And now you are on the path of your education, teaching. And where do you see yourself in like 6 years?
In 6 years, I'm going to be a fully accredited teacher at the immersion school on the reservation that I live on, while being an excellent auntie to all those kids.
Yay!
And I'm going to try and make a video game.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was not what I expected to hear.
Yeah.
That's such a huge difference. Do you know how to code? Is it coding? Is that
It's
what gaming is?
coding,
Okay.
yeah. I'm learning. I also have a lot of friends that know and have excellent networking skills to be able to help me get through the majority of it. But I want to create a survival-based video game where you aren't necessarily dropped, like, how The Forest is a game where you play, and it's a survival game. You crash land from an airplane onto like a deserted island, and you need to survive until you're saved.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make something like that, but instead of a location, it's a time.
Mm-hmm.
So you crash land into pre-contact, and the language used is in Resurgence, and the only way to really make it day by day is to slowly learn the language. And I want to use it almost like a tool, so it's more of an immersive kind of aspect, where in order to like gain certain levels and get higher up in the
So the more
fluency.
you learn your language, the farther along you get.
Yep. So like you can see the progress and have the achievements and stuff. I do believe our youth kind of lean towards video games and seeing those instant gratification awards and achievements and stuff, that doing something like that might be an easier way for them to have access to an immersive setting outside of school, and if it's not something that's in-home immersive either.
And people do love to see those achievements.
Yes.
So that's a very good incentive.
Yes, I've got a lot of friends who are completionists. They won't stop playing a game until they've clicked off every single achievement that they've found.
Wild. Put that in like a different sense. I got a Apple Watch a couple years ago, and then when you do like a certain amount of exercise day, you close your rings. So I got very focused on closing all 3 of my rings every single day, and then all of a sudden I started getting achievements if you do so many in a row.
Oh yeah.
And then that like started making me hyper focused in on it. And I was like, oh my God. It's like, so thinking about the game, how far along you can get with achievements, I think that'd be fantastic.
Because I see Duolingo, right? And it's an app. It's not really a game. I haven't seen that many games yet that can kind of incorporate that way of interactivity.
I like the concept of like pre-contact as well.
Yes.
When you first said game, when you talked about like learning language, I remember like the old game, the Oregon Trail.
Yes.
Where like you had to go through Oregon Trail and like you died of dysentery.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
It was such a hard game to complete because you always died.
Yep.
Obviously that wouldn't be your game.
Although there will be probably a few people who
struggles.
will rage quit,
Yeah, there'll be people like that, but also the people that make it to the end are the ones that will be fluent in Silchin?
In Silchin, yeah.
There you go. Amazing. All right, well, Jennifer, that was a fantastic conversation that I had with you. I enjoy every single time that I see you. Yes. We don't see each other often, but every time you're in a room and I get to come up to you, you bring such joy, and I'm very grateful to know you in my life. And I'm very, very happy that you took the time to come and be a part of this podcast, and I thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so honored to have even been a part of your those who would be considered to have a discussion with you on Denhta.
That's very, very sweet. It's not that elevated yet. One day, maybe.
Oh, it's so elevated. Oh, you've got a fan here.
Well, you have a fan as well because I adore you. That was so much fun. Thank you so much. Do you want to say any final words to potential new fans of yours?
Okay. Number one, first and foremost, stay hydrated. Water is life. Number two, you got to feed your meat prison, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to enjoy the life. And third and final, this is key. Laugh. Just laugh. Laughter is important.
Water, eat, laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Hope to see you soon. But
Yes.
that's it for now. Bye.
Bye.